This is Hino's Sport, bringing you that heat and that far. We keeping the foot on the what on the X. We keeping the foot on the what on the X. And like the Tibetan master that I am, I'm applying what unlimited pressure. Because pressure does what? It bursts his pipes. Let's talk about it, man. Now they're saying that Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia should fight one another out. That Devin Haney's been ordered to fight Ryan Garcia. Now that makes sense. Because you got two guys that realistically and fundamentally are two guys that are about a bunch of nothing. Devin Haney's a capping little Devin Haney self. And Ryan Garcia's chinny chin chin. See, 135 is arguably the weakest division in boxing outside of Gervonta Tank Davis. Gervonta Tank Davis, just like Earl the True Spence does at 147, just like Gervonta Tank Davis does at 135, just like Deontay Wilder does at the heavyweight division, but he got robbed. They lynched him, boy. They lynched him last year in February. They lynched him bad. Just like the Charlo brothers run 154 and 160. Damn, all PBC is just running every damn thing, dog. Let me say it again. All PBC is running every damn thing. What people got to understand is when you look at Devin Haney, you look at Ryan Garcia, what you see is two Rudy Poo and Plum Plum brains. Two classic Dolton Trouble days. Two ultra fanboys with the ultra fanboy rhetoric. Same thing with the super duper hype job variation, i.e. Teofimo Lopez. All of them are in the same boat. And if it wasn't for Gervonta Tank Davis, 135 would literally be SHIT. Let me say it again. 135 would literally be SHIT. Because what people got to understand in this most cold-hearted, unadulterated, and cutthroat two-teller fashion, when people say that Gervonta Tank Davis, it's because Floyd is stupid because Gervonta Tank Davis is going by the money. Boxing is a prize-fighting sport. Your brain full of mush and your brainwashed dodo heads. So you're not only fighting for belts, you're also fighting for money. So yes, if a fighter brings a certain element of marketability to the sport, because boxing is a three-pronged monster, economics, politics, and pugilism, then yes, you want that fighter that's going to be able to be box office. That's what Gervonta Tank Davis is. Devin Haney's not box office. Devin Haney's a parasite. He's a parasite that's clinging onto Gervonta Tank Davis's hopes. This fight right here will do him a lot of freaking good because he needs a fight like this. Because he didn't prove no flying you-know-whats or two cows you-know-what against Eucurus Gamboa. He proved that he got exposed. Like Hino's Sport told you, interdiction, King strikes. Interdiction, King strikes. And he got exposed since the Alfredo Santiago fight. Choppy overhand right, man. You see his overhand right a mile away. Hino's Sport told you guys this stuff. But you didn't pay attention, you didn't listen. Because what people are noticing time in and time again, Hino's Sport is always on the thumb and the needle of the damn situation. He's always on the wave. And what did I tell you guys? If Devin Haney didn't fall his ass up on the Mayweather so that he could stay and be a crispier than a three-piece, he was going to have a problem. And look, the more defiant he keeps being, the more hard-headed he keeps being, the more knucklehead he keeps being, the more he keeps finding himself in a precarious and a problem situation. Devin Haney has a big issue. This is an issue that a lot of black people have with a lot of other types of black people. They don't want to accept correction, dog. They don't want to accept that they are in an inferior position. Other races do this. Whites do this amongst one another. Hispanics do this amongst one another. Other races accept their inferiority to another person's superiority because they know in accepting submission at that moment, if they are smart enough, they can become in a superior position at a later point. We as black folks, we just don't get it. And that's Bill Haney's problem. Bill Haney was feeling some type of way because Floyd Mayweather Sr. put him in his place and told him, you have no rights of being a boxing trainer and a boxing manager. Instead of him taking that to heart and saying, you know what? I'm going to prove him wrong, just like Leonard Ellaby. You know Floyd Mayweather Sr. told the same thing to Leonard Ellaby. Leonard Ellaby could have folded like a pretzel and say, I'm done. But see, this is what Hino's Sports trying to tell you. Some people are wired a certain way and some people are not. Leonard Ellaby took that as fuel to the fire to say, I'm going to prove to you that not only am I quantified, calculated, and verified to do this thing, I'm going to show you that I can do it with the best of them. Some people are just wired that way. Some people are not. Bill Haney is not wired that way. So when Floyd Mayweather Sr. told Bill Haney what he told him, Bill Haney was on some nigga shit. Let me say it again. Bill Haney was on some nigga shit. See, there's black Afro-Americans. There's Negroes. And there's niggas. Bill Haney is a nigga. This is how he responded to adversity. This is how he responded to the situation. Instead of him folding like a pretzel, bending the proverbial effing knee, and kissing the ring while he was at it so that he could learn under the tutorialship, under the school mastership of a Floyd Mayweather Sr. in terms of a training aspect, from a Floyd Mayweather in terms of a cachet and a marketability aspect, and from an Al Heyman in terms of a marketable and promotion aspect, right? How to run and govern your affairs. He wanna feel some type of way, dog. Got me feeling some type of way. Got me feeling some type of way. Got me feeling some type of way. He wanted to feel some type of way. Now Ryan Garcia has great people around him, but he seems to not listen to them. Andre Ward told you this, man. Unless you're an air-filled fighter like a Floyd Mayweather of the world, like an Earl the True Spence of the world, or Andre Ward of the world, you gotta be built up. You gotta be built up slowly, man. Even Gervonta Tank Davis, who's special. We're talking about a Roy Jones Jr. athleticism mixed with a Mike Tyson power, sprinkled with a pool count extraordinary ability of Floyd Money Mayweather. Floyd pushed him slowly because Floyd saw the issue that happened with Adrian Broner. And Adrian Broner not listening when it came to the Marcos Maidana situation. Some fighters need to be pushed slowly, because there's levels to this stuff. There's gears. As you're going up the gears, they have to make sure that you're ready for the situation. They have to make sure that you're mentally ready for what you're about to endure. Because in boxing, or in any sport, 80% of the sport is mental. Not the 20% part that you have to have, obviously the physicality. It's the 80% part is mental. So when we say there's levels to this stuff, there's gears. Shout outs to Meek Mill, is basically saying that you have to have the mental wherewithal, the mental capacity, and the mental ingenuity to do what you do. And in the square circle, there is no sport outside of golf that is as mental as that sport can possibly be, because it requires individuality. It is an individual sport. So you have to have an individual mindset to do what you do individually. Woo! Dropping gems and jewels, man. Get the notepads out and get to the damn scribbling. So Ryan Garcia is not there mentally. He's chinny chin chin on top of that physically. That's a double handicap. How is that going to bode well against the likes of a Gervonta Tank Davis? It's a things that make you say, It's a things that make you say, And even Hino Sport could be corrected. Because Papa Legba, the other day, and shout outs to him, he basically said, Hino Sport, man, how you going to disrespect Leo Santa Cruz, though? Ryan Garcia is not even as good as Leo Santa Cruz. And you know what I told him? I said, you know what, man? You might be on to something. Because if he's not even as good as him, that means Gervonta Tank Davis is literally going to kill this guy in the ring. So when you look at Ryan Garcia and we look at Devin Haney, they're a match made for each other. And you know why? They both are deficient. They both are basically what we call clown jobs at 135. So they belong with one another. And the fact that Ryan Garcia is the junior champion to Devin Haney's little capping email champion, super champion self, they're perfect for one another. And that should be the next fight. Not Gervonta Tank Davis. Gervonta Tank Davis is the heavyweight lifter. Gervonta Tank Davis is the 8-sider. So everyone has to beat each other up before they can get to Gervonta Tank Davis. That's the cold-hearted. That's the unadulterated. That's the cutthroat fashion. I keeps the foot on the whoop on the next. I keeps the foot on the whoop on the next. The bottom line is this. 135 has been the weakest it's ever been. And anyone else that's telling you otherwise, it's like the Charles Barkley commercial. It is freaking uncivilized. This is Hino Sport. Check it out.
If you want smoke, it's free, but you can't smoke for free. If you want smoke, it's free, but you can't smoke for free.